I love Wuthering Waves. That is a phrase that I believe many people who play WuWa say. But when I tell you this, I speak from the absolute bottom of my heart that I truly love Wuthering Waves. To the point that I would say it is my favorite game in my 11-year history of playing them. And will probably be my favorite game for more years to come. Now I get it, if you're a random viewer, you would ask, why should I care? Well, you don't have to. Because this video is not gonna be something where I'm gonna try to convince you to play Wuthering Waves or make a review out of the game. Or otherwise. This video is simply me talking about why I love Wuthering Waves. And the many aspects I love about it. Now, if this doesn't interest you, feel free to leave. But if you want to listen, then stay and lend your ear to the random dude in the internet yap about why he loves a gacha game, of all things. Before we start, what exactly is Wuthering Waves? To the few of you who clicked this video somehow not knowing what it is, Wuthering Waves, or WuWa for short, is a free-to-play open-world RPG with an anime art style made by Kuro Games. The game is one of exploration, combat, and world building. If you played Genshin, well, it is pretty similar to it. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk why I love this game so much. There are many things I love about WuWa, but let's start off with the most basic of all things in a game, that is gameplay. And the many parts of it, because Wuthering Waves has many parts of their gameplay. Up first is probably my favorite part of WuWa and the bulk of this video, the combat. Now the combat in WuWa is many things, but one it definitely is a game of skill. Now I can already hear, oh, it's a gacha game, how can it be a game of skill when you can just buy in-game characters with real life money? Well, here's the thing. You actually have to still learn and properly use what you buy. I mean, I swear, if you try to just button mash endgame content, then you won't be getting most or all of the rewards. WuWa is on the line where, yes, getting and buying more characters helps you clear the game faster and better, but if you don't have the skill or you just don't learn how to actually use the characters, then you won't be able to clear all of the content. Because even me, who has an S6 Camellia and S6 Carlotta, can die if I'm not careful. And that's what I love about it. It's not super difficult, but you can't just clear all content if you refuse to learn what weapons to get, how to build echoes, and how to play characters. Aside from this, WuWa's combat is just so fast. Like, if you play an optimal level, unless you're using Hyper Carry, which is only used by like a few characters, you are practically switching between characters like constantly, and I love that. I mean, just look at this gameplay from a dual DPS team.
Together we who's the caged bird now.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself.
Mine eye. Together we vanish.
I bet anyone that hasn't played WuWa, watching that clip, has no idea what just happened. You see, what you just saw was me doing what is commonly known as quick swapping. Basically a playstyle in WuWa where you constantly swap in between two DPS characters to get the most damage out of them, or even just normal characters, not even just DPS. Basically doing combos at the same time with two different characters, and it's so good. Like, I can't tell you how satisfying it is to properly combo two characters like they're in sync. As someone who loves quick gameplay, this playstyle is so satisfying to play. And while we're talking about characters here, let's talk about another aspect of combat that I love, how characters work. In short, they're kits. Character kits in WuWa are complex with each character, in a way that depending on how you play a character, it might change their combat. There are really 6 things that each character has that plays differently. Their basic attack, resonance skill, forte gauge, resonance liberation, which is their ult, their intro skill, and outro skill. Now let's break it down.
Turn up, they know.
Not that kind of breaking it down, editor. Now I can't exactly go in depth about all these types of parts of a character, because if I did, this video is probably gonna be longer than I already want it. So instead, I'ma just say what I like and the more unique niches of these elements of a character. Because Kuros somehow make characters that feel unique despite having similar kits and relying on similar things. For example, Changli and Jinshi, 2 DPS characters that both rely on resonance skill damage. Yet they play completely differently. Changli's damage is spread out between her skill, her forte, her liberation, and even sometimes her basic attack. All of it does damage. That means you have to properly manage all of that to properly get max damage out of her. Basically both build her forte gauge while still dealing damage. And when you have it at max, you can deal a bunch of damage. But be careful not to use your ult while in max because you're wasting it since it can replenish her forte gauge to max, and it's a whole different thing. Meanwhile, Jinshi relies on her enhanced resonance skill. Sure, her ult does some damage too, but the big nuke of her enhanced resonance skill is basically where your main damage comes from. What's the price of this nuke? Well, you have to build up her forte gauge, and that takes a bit, so you have to properly manage that too. You need coordinated attacks to build her gauge, which are attacks that happen along with your character. But since Jinshi doesn't have coordinated attacks, you need to pair her up with someone who does, and this just goes into team building. Another unique element of a character I mentioned earlier is their ability to play in quick swap teams. Basically, you have to time things right to swap out in the middle of their animations to swap to another character and deal damage. A good example of this is the 2 characters you saw earlier, Changli and Zhang Liao. When you press Changli's skill, in the middle of her animation, swap to Zhang Liao and use his liberation, use his skill, and then again switch this time to Changli and basic attack, then do her skill, then switch back to Zhang Liao, and the combo goes on and on and on. It's just so good because the kits feel unique and complex, and you really have to learn how they work, and you have to like mix how the kits work. You have to learn all of it, test things out properly to figure it out. These intricacies are just what I love about WuWa's combat, because in a way you can play in many unique paths, and how you play the character affects your combat. And while we're talking about this, let's talk about team building. Another big part of the combat in this game, because of course if you don't have a good team, you're not going to be getting the best out of them. Just like in a game such as HSR, where team building is important and you have to pair characters with characters, pair Firefly with Harmony Trailblazer, pair Quantum characters with Quantum characters, team building is also important to WuWa. But while it is important, there is a sort of problem in the team building of games such as HSR. Like, there are certain characters that rely on other characters to properly work. But here's the thing. WuWa doesn't really have those kinds of restrictions, at least not to the point of HSR. Now don't get me wrong. Better characters, better gameplay. But there is always another option. Like, let's say, for example, Rosha is the best paired up with her best in slot teammate, Camellia. But it is also completely valid, in my opinion, to team her up with Brant, Encore. 2 that aren't best in slot, but still work. Hell, I could put her up with Ling Yang even if I wanted to. Even though I wouldn't, because Ling Yang is bad. Because 1, her personal damage is already good, to let her hold up as not just a buffer, but as a sub DPS. Another example is Jinshi. Again, I mentioned her earlier. she needs a coordinated attack character. Now, yes, you could get Gacha, her current best in slot, but hell, I can use Jinshi and Yuanwu. Yuanwu is a free 4-star character, and I can still clear towers with her. And another part of that I love is that despite many of the characters needing other characters to work, somehow no character actually needs to have specific characters to work. They always have an alternative. Just like I said for Jinshi and Yuanwu. Another example is someone like Zani, who needs Spectrofrazzle. Well, yes, you can use her with their best in slot, Phoebe. You can also use her with Spectro Rover. And he's the MC, so he's free. So you don't need Phoebe. As long as you play well, she'll still work. Now I know some of the people saying, how about Wutheringwaves? Some characters can clear that, Jinshi can't clear that. And yes, you're right. But here's the thing. There are other characters. It's not like you have to get all of them, but they can clear as long as you build them properly and play them right. And if you don't want to and just want to play someone like Jinshi who's not made for Wutheringwaves, well, dupes exist for a reason. If you really love Jinshi that much, then just get her dupes. And yeah, she can clear any endgame content. Probably. And again, good transition. But let's talk about dupes in WuWa. If you don't know, dupes is basically when you get a character when you already have them. And when you do manage to do this, the game gives you a dupe. Or in WuWa's case, a wave band. And what's so great about what's so great about dupes in WuWa is that while yes, they make your characters stronger and sometimes completely overpowered, you don't need them. Because something that the character needs isn't locked behind dupes. All of their kits are given from the start of when you get S0. And you don't have to get more to unlock more of their kit. Most dupes are just simple damage increases. That's what I like about the dupes in WuWa. They don't lock an integral part of their characters behind it. Now since we're pretty much moved on from the combat part of WuWa and we're talking about dupes, I just want to be a dick sucker here for a minute, but thank you Kuro for giving us the ability to buy 2 dupes in the shop. It just helps me a lot and I imagine helps others a lot with spending money, because if you don't know, I myself had an experience where I wanted to spend money and spent $200 rolling for Carlotta. Check out that video, and would have spent more if Kuro didn't give us the ability to buy 2 dupes straight out from the shop. So yeah, thanks Kuro. That was just me dick sucking for a second. Now let's talk about something I also absolutely adore from Wutheringwaves, is their exploration and traversal. I gotta say, the way they let characters jump over stuff really quickly, how there's infinite stamina and if not in combat, and how you can quite literally fly is so much fun. And doesn't make exploration a boring ass time. Oh, you wanna get that Sonin speaking? Oh, don't worry, you can just grapple to it. Like, what the fuck? Kuro has added so much quality of life to the traversal and exploration of WuWa that everybody can access. It's just so much fun just exploring around. Now I know, quality of life for characters exists in WuWa. But brother, you have wings. It doesn't affect much. I know they don't have it in Jinzhou. I really hope they add it, by the way. But still, in truth, by the time you get a new character, you're probably already finished with the Jinzhou story quests. And if you're not, you can just go right on to Rinasida anyways, and fly around with wings. Just like everybody else. It's fair. And talking about quality of life, giving us straight up locations for all the stuff you need to complete that part of the map and get all the rewards, I think is a great decision. Because it gives players actual directions and you don't have to fucking look at every single pixel in the damn map to get it to 100%. To get all the rewards. That just feels so good because, again, you don't have to look everywhere just for that one chest you missed. Moving on, let's talk about the graphics and design of WuWa. And I just want to give you a view of how beautiful WuWa is. I don't know how or who makes the games and the maps and the environment. But whoever is in charge of the lighting and the overall design of WuWa, thank you for making this game look absolutely beautiful. Truly, Wutheringwaves is a beautiful game. And you know what goes along with the beauty of Wutheringwaves? The music. Yes, I know. 1.0 music wasn't that good, and I can barely hear the music at all. But anything after that, it's just so good. Especially in the music after 2.0. The music in Renacita is amazing, and it just fits the vibe with each location. Like, it's truly an immersive experience when you're just walking around Renacita and you hear the chill music in the background. Talking about immersion, let me show you 2 clips that show why WuWa's immersion is top tier. You see that? If you don't know, in WuWa, there are currently 2 regions. First clip is Renacita. And by the clip I showed you, you would already know Renacita is a place of revelry, entertainment, and more. Like, look at the NPCs, they're being entertained by Echo, sipping tea, and just walking around. They talk about random shit that any other person IRL talks about. Like, seeing this, it truly just immerses me in the world because I feel like I'm in a city where I just hear random bullshit from other people. Because they just walk around and roam and talk about random stuff. There are random kids just playing around, bands of echoes playing music, and the ever so present bodyguards that stand all day because that's their job, with the also ever present acolyte. There are random NPCs that have random conversations, as I said earlier, advertisements on screens about random stuff. It makes you feel like not like you're walking in a game world, but you're walking down a futuristic yet olden city. And I'll just say, the NPC's design of WuWa are amazing. Like, I don't know how these characters aren't just 4 stars because they then absolutely could be 4 stars. Please, Kuro, make Rosemary and Nyarla payable. I beg you. Even just as 4 stars. Now that I've shown you the peaceful side of WuWa, let's go back to the second clip I wanted to show you, which shows why WuWa is so immersive. You see, this is Jinzhou, a place with many dangers connected to a place that literally breeds out monsters and enemies. And you know what you see when exploring these places? Patrols! Walking patrols of policemen and army men walking around. And you know what happens when one of the enemies attack them? They fight back! They aren't just random ass NPCs that watch as you get attacked by a giant ass wolf. No, they fucking fight and they can do work. Like, just look at these dudes. Absolutely wrecking these wolves, man. Like, bro, I didn't know you guys wanted to smoke. And I know they're slower, but that's just because we have our own characters and our characters is built to the max. Like, these guys are just normal people. They aren't resonators. They aren't characters. They're just normal people fighting for their lives. And even the other enemies want smoke with each other. Like, bro, I don't know if I have a clip, but I have seen a bear and 3 boars go up against 2 Tacet Gistords at one place. If I can find that, I'll put it right here. Because, like, damn, bro, everyone want to smoke. Both of these clips should show you why WuWa not only has beautiful scenery and amazing music, but shows how immersive the world is. As I've said, random NPCs talking in the street, random echo bands and ads that play while NPCs watch, army and police NPCs fighting actual threats when they come their way, random animals fighting random monsters because that shit. Like, it truly is like you're in the world of Solaris 3, not just a game world. Now, not to go off track, but talking about this, I may have strayed off the part of this video specifically, which was graphics and music. But to remedy that, I'll show you a 2-minute video of a simple showcase of a random challenge in WuWa that will show you how beautiful this game is and its music.
I can see the dawn on his face with the shimmering light that starts to race in a world that strokes the rise and freeze. Each mark I make a trace beneath the shadow golden drifting like a gentle dream in my heart. The chance secretly strikes a chord. Time is fluid like red wine in my bones. Then it pours out a page of rhythm and rhyme. Can we set our sail again to the rainbow? Gondola flying once there was a bird swimming only and we had to stop to hear its secrets unfold. Was it yesterday? Was it last year? It's so sweet and salty Can we set our sail again to the beating heart of the sky where grandma rested her song? Let's go visit her bunch of daisies like grandpa once did and sing her a lullaby. I dream about it all last night. Clouds and rainbows intertwined, blurring up my tripod. Paws holding me.
Now, that was just a random challenge. That was legitimately random. Anybody can do this in the game. Like, truly, anybody can do this, anybody can access this, and it just sits there. But it's moments like this where you can appreciate the music and the visuals that make the game so beautiful and amazing. It truly is just a sight to see. Like, you know what? Pull up another clip. This time I'll show you the music and visuals in combat.
Quickly and swiftly. Different. Let me be your blade. Shape the shapeless. Life is in everything. Let me be your blade. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Fruit of evolution. Ha! Hey! Ha! Let me be your blade. Purpose. essence. The furtive ever let me be your blade. Leave it to me. Oh, this is bask in the sunlight. Let me be your blade. Storm, hear my command. Glory demands more.
When I first fought this boss, I was truly like, holy shit, this is cool. The boss was visually stunning, it wasn't too hard but still play like a scrub and you're dead. The music was an absolute masterpiece, the way it just builds and builds until climax. Ayo. This is just one of the bosses that I love, and by watching this, you can probably understand why. Because it's just amazing. Going to probably the most popular reason why people play this game, the story and characters. Now I know many of the people who played only 1.0 will say the story is trash. And I will agree with you. Yes, 1.0 was trash. It was bad. But don't let this part dissuade you from continuing on forward, because WuWa's story has slowly gotten better and better over time. And I will say without a shadow of a doubt, 2.0 was a story masterpiece that I love all the way through. And the new quest of 2.2 is, in my opinion, even better. Is the story basic? In my opinion, yes. But I will say to you right now, WuWa's strategy of making a story isn't making something super unique and different, at least not in Renacida. No, they are focused on how they present the story and how the story feels. The plotline is really easy to predict, like, at least to me. But does that make it any less fun? No, because they present it in such a way that it doesn't need a super unique story to make good. Because the way they present it is amazing. That's what I firmly believe. And they don't have an annoying ass character that tries to insert herself into every conversation, repeating what others just said and being annoying. Instead, we have Abby, an actual useful and helpful companion with us that actually adds something to the story. Ahem. Now talking about characters, I will just say, the same with story, 1.0 wasn't all that good. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really interested in any of the characters from 1.0. There were a few characters that I liked, such as Yinlin and more, but I will say, any character after 1.0 is just amazing. Because in truth, the characters in WuWa feel fleshed out. Like when NPCs in WuWa feel like random ass people, what would you expect from actual playable characters? Each of them have a uniqueness to them. Every character in some way is different. And that makes them so amazing to play and watch and just go along with. They react with emotion, the way they are animated show that they aren't just stationary characters. The way their eye moves in the character screen, I simply love that. How they are voiced with just so much emotion behind them, and how they have just unique and distinct feels to how they play. It just gives them so much character, and I love it. Whether you want the kind, almost shy but helpful girl like Shorekeeper, the fun, goofy performer guy like Brant, or even the crazy bitches that just want to suck your dick like Camellia and Cantarella, you can feel the emotion and love quote-unquote love to making these characters feel fun to talk to and just hang out with. Sometimes even having intricate backstories. And with these, there's one thing I feel like WuWa does really well, and that is the MC. I love how the MC story is portrayed in WuWa because it's clear that they aren't doing this because they are forced to or for no reason at all. They are doing this because they are clearly someone important to the world and not just some random dude that got stuck there. They are the master of the Sentinels, aka gods, and a person that clearly has a lot of power in them. Like every cutscene Rover is in, it's clear he is powerful as hell. He has, and I hate to say it, aura. And I love that. I love Rover here and how they are portrayed as the MC because they feel like an MC. They aren't inserts, they are important to the story and the bigger world of Solaris. Now you might remember earlier that I said combat was my favorite part of WuWa. And well, while I do love it, yes, that's not exactly the part I love the most about WuWa. My most favorite part of WuWa is not something in the game itself, but something outside the game. Those who make the game, the devs Kuro Games. WuWa is what in my mind is the perfect balance between catering to both the filthy casuals and the sweaty tryhards without exactly taking either of the sides. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in gacha games especially, the players can vary vastly what they're trying to look for. Some look for deep, heart-crunching story, while others look for really hard boss fights and shit. Or those who just want to see anime titties. But either way, gacha games are often seen to cater to the more casual side of their fanbase. And yes, Kuro is catering to that side. Don't forget to make actually hard endgame stuff though, for the tryhards to strive for. Case in point, holograms, which are really hard, like stupid hard, and it's not just HP inflation. They add stuff to the bosses that are like so difficult to dodge. Like, I legitimately don't understand some of the moves there. Like, they are sometimes just not telegraphed at all. And yes, while they give you rewards, it's not mandatory. It's something for the tryhards, for the like dungeon players. It's not to the point where the casuals need to do it. That's just the thing I love about Kuro. And clearly, they're now improving the game to the point that they aren't just catering to one side of the community, but all of the community. You may have noticed in the story and character section I just talked about, I said a lot of things about 1.0 being trash. And that is true. In my opinion, it was bad. The launch of this game, while not maybe a disaster, it definitely had some problems. But you know what Kuro did? They fixed it. And not only that, improved upon it. Throughout WuWa's lifespan, Kuro's not only fixed many of the problems people had about WuWa, but improved upon them in a way that made the game so much better. Even adding shit that players weren't even asking for. Yet they added it anyways. Over the span of a year, Kuro has made more improvements on the core system of WuWa than Genshin had ever in the last 4 years. And I know, I'm bringing up Genshin, but I can't let this video continue on if I truly want to speak with complete honesty. Genshin was something I loved, and for over 4 years, I played that game from the beginning. A game that truly had me hooked. But the company behind Genshin ruined that game. They never truly gave a fuck about that game, and only gave a fuck about how much money it made. This made my perception so absolutely shit about gacha games that I had to quit the game for around a half a year one time. Because it just felt like the game was only going downhill. And it was. WuWa and in turn Kuro gave me a game that gave me the same love for as Genshin, But this time, I felt like the devs were actually listening. It truly felt like they wanted to not only make money, because they still want to make money, but make their game an amazing experience and improve upon it over time. And I know what some of you might be thinking. I know the anniversary drama happened. And yes, I was the one of the people that had a negative opinion on the rewards. But the fact that they even listened to the community and made compensation, it gives me some peace of mind that they are listening. Even if the words are still in my mind not enough. I've gotten over that, but I still stand by that the rewards are still pretty bad. But in any case, let's move on from that. WuWa is no means a perfect game. But as I've said, it's a game that has gone through many improvements. And will go through probably many more. Kuro has made the experience of playing Wutheringwaves a blast, legitimately. And that is my true and honest opinion. I love WuWa, but most of all I love Kuro. Because they listen. They listen to their community. They improve upon mistakes and try to give players an amazing experience. All in all, WuWa is a game that, over in the span of 1 year, has made me fall in love with it to the point I would say it is my most favorite game. And as I said in the beginning of this episode, will continue, probably, to be my favorite game for more years to come. And I would like to thank Kuro for giving me this opportunity to play this game that I love and enjoy. So thank you, Kuro. This video was really long, and I know, but hell, even if this video gets 0 views, I don't care, because I made this, again, not as a review, not as a ad or anything like that. I just wanted to talk about my favorite game. To Kuro, I love you guys, and to WuWa, happy anniversary. I gotta be honest, I made most of the script before the anniversary patch. This is why I'm uploading it at the actual date of the anniversary. But yeah, this serves as my thank you to Kuro for making my favorite game currently. Now if there's someone watching and you've reached the end of the video, thank you too. I hope you enjoy this random dude in the internet yap about his favorite game. I thank you for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want more videos like this. Hit the notification bell. Share with your family, your friends, and everyone you know. And watch for the next patch for WuWa, because I will definitely be playing 2.4. Because as you've seen, I'm very excited about the leaks. I saw that. I have posted a video about the leaks, and damn. I have only seen the one that was released by the one that was officially released, I think. And yeah, I'm definitely excited. I hope Kuro continues to improve upon their game, and I hope that WuWa continues its lifespan and doesn't get EOS. Because if it does, I'm gonna be real sad. But yeah, for now, as I said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll leave you now. Peace.